Welcome to 10-Minute Tones. This is the first episode where we take 10 real minutes and we dial in a preset from scratch. No cheating, no editing. And our time starts now. Okay, as you notice from the preset name, perhaps, the model we're gonna work on today is the AC30 Nrm. And I gotta get my timer over here so I can see how we're doing. Now, I'm gonna start with just the amp block and not the amp and cab block. Because I reserved the right at a future date to use an IR, future time to use an IR. Okay, that sounds like garbage. So let's add a cab. We'll start with a stock cab. Maybe we could find something that works. If we can, great. If not, whatever. Some of you might not know in HX Edit you can go up here and choose dual cab. We're not going to do that. That hard pans them left and right, so might be nice, might not be nice. I'm just going to jump to what I normally do by default stock here. I like to bump up the early reflections. By the way, we're using my Strandberg Salin Jazz, just because I have it on me and I like it and it's comfortable. These humbuckers are kind of like not super high output either, so I think they kind of work well with this sort of thing. So I'm going for the stock cab that would normally come up, the Bluebell, and then choosing the 121. And I like to bump up the early reflections. That just helps it feel a little more natural to me. That'll just give you some more of the reflections from the room where the virtual amp is in, right? The virtual room. Okay, so almost 2 minutes burned. And what I like to do is want to set this to be like, that's my test chord, by the way. Like F2. Get that G in there. I like to strum that because I want to be able to hear the articulation, like the clarity between each string. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is bring the drive back just a little bit. Drive back just a little bit. Master volume's on 10, perfect. That works for me, I think. Don't really have to change much. See, I want a little bit more drive, but there's something kind of fizzy about this. Let's try to be a little more subtle. I feel like sometimes if I crank the bass back a little bit, I can crank up the drive. Crank it up a little more now. Maybe back to where it was. Where was it? It was at 5.6, I think. Okay, I like that. I like that for chords. And if I pick lightly, what I'm going for is like edge. I want to be able to get some cleaner tones if I pick lightly. Maybe roll the volume back a little bit. Seems crazy. Okay, so that's obviously going to be super woofy. I would not really use that neck pickup on this amp, I don't think. Not bad. So that's my fourth position sound. Go second position. Okay. get a little more dirt. So here's the bridge pickup again, which is I think mainly what I would be living on with this guitar and amp model combination. Okay, I think I want it to be just a little bit brighter actually. You know what? I should listen in the headphones because I'm listening in the room and it might be, you guys might be listening to this and be like, what is he talking about? Oops. Okay. I'm not going to turn that up anymore. I'm going to leave that where it is. In fact, I'm going to click it back a couple times. My ears in the room, I always wanted a little bit brighter, and then the more direct sound kind of gets me. All right, we're going to stick with this cab. We're going to stick with this cab. You know what? I'm just going to, let's just do this for the sake of argument real quick. I'll give it 30 seconds out of our remaining 4 minutes. I'm going to pull up an IR. I'm going to pull up an IR that I know that I like. This is the tone junkie stuff. What do I want? Actually, I want this one. Match 30, 121, and 57. So let's turn that on. Let's bypass this. Okay, well, that's obviously louder, so that doesn't help compare. Always good to level match. Your ears deceive you. If it's louder or brighter in any way, your ears are going to automatically say like, oh, I like that better, even if it's just louder. So you got to be very, very careful about, I should set up a snapshot here. Okay, so snapshot 1 is the cab. Let's go to snapshot 2. Snapshot 2 is the IR. Okay. All right. The stock cab is good enough. I'm going to stick with it just because I want this to be usable for y'all if you download it, if you want to play with it. Okay, so I think that's fine. What I'm going to do is actually go into the cab and I'm going to bring the high cut actually up. I don't usually bring it up, but because we're using such a dark, that was set for the stock setting, which had a different microphone. Okay, great. Real quick, we're gonna do something, a little trick here before we run out of time. If you have this is a general tip. If you have a tape delay, you probably have a tape emulation, right? So if we crank this all the way down to 0, you might have never, we're gonna crank it down to 0, we're gonna crank it up to 100% so we can hear what this is gonna do. It's coloring the sound. And if we take the headroom down, let's try just a couple dB. It's adding like a little bit of grit. We don't have to have mix 100%. We can bring the mix down to like 40%. Okay, I think that's good. Now, last thing we're gonna do, we have time. We gotta add a reverb. What am I doing? Dynamic call. Too much, too much. Do I have time? Legacy, room. Here we go. 2, 1. And we're done. This is what we got. I'm gonna save it. All right. Alright, that was 10-minute tones, Vox AC30 Nrm on the Helix. I hope you enjoyed it. Preset will be available for download. Link in the description. Thank you for watching. And remember, if it sounds good, it is good.